Spurs fans, the draft is less than a week away. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. If you're off today like me, I hope you're enjoying your day off. And I found an article from Air Alamo. Yeah, I know, but this one's not too bad. They're not saying trade Counselor or some nonsense. Talking about whether we should draft Cedric Coward with pick number 14. Do I think we should do that? I'll give my 2 cents in just a moment, but let's get into the article from the AA. In every draft cycle, one player shoots up the board and quickly becomes a can't-miss prospect. This year, it is Washington State wing Cedric Coward, the old double C. While the torn labrum ended what was a massive breakout season, Coward showed off elite skills that were enough to put him in the spot he is in today. Coward possesses a rare 3-level ability. You know, I'm going to stop right there. That actually scares me just a moment reading that because I remember Malachi Branham's scouting reports when I read them. 3-level score, 3-level this, 3-level... Anyway. A rare 3-level ability that you don't often see in college prospects. The sharpshooter was lights out from beyond the arc last season, shooting 40% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. It was very limited in games, though, because of his injury. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Shooting 6 of 13, there's your limited, on unguarded threes through 6 games this past season and 51% in the prior season. Coward can always be trusted to splash the easy looks. And you know what? Playing with Wemby, you're going to get some open looks. You better hit your shots. Coward isn't just a great 3-point shooter, though. His solid stroke also translates to the mid-range game. He can quickly adjust to his surroundings, pulling up from anywhere on the court or driving to the rim. Coward has a smooth touch around the rim and uses his upper body strength to win post-up battles. All right, like what I'm reading so far. He has excellent vision, and he displays strong playmaking abilities and a willingness to get his teammates involved. What happened here? I'm like over to the right. This should be over this way. Come on. There we go. I don't know what's happening there. Sorry. Editing on the fly. He is 6'6" with a long 7'2" wingspan, so he's got some reach. He is not afraid to do the dirty work and fight his way towards a valuable rebound. Okay, so far so good, right? Yeah, loving what we're reading. He has the traits to be a dominant defender in the NBA as a wing. Coward roams around the half court looking for every opportunity to get involved. He put up 1.7 blocks and 0.8 steals per game last season. That's weird. You would think those numbers would be the other way around for a wing, 1.7 steals and 0.8 blocks, but he actually blocked more shots. All right, maybe that's because of his wingspan. Probably because. That's always a question mark, Spurs fans, with any draft pick. If he can hit his ceiling, the Spurs could have their hands on the exact player they need to assist Wemby in creating a top-of-the-league defense. We all like slinging D. But should we ignore his concerns? He would be a gamble at pick 14, a big gamble, no matter his traits. He appears to have completely recovered from his torn labrum in 2024, but the injury may still linger for some time. Oof. With the serious injury moving him from play early on, we didn't get a full sample size of his current self at Washington State. The bulk of his tape comes from playing weaker competition at Eastern Washington. Trusting a player's talent playing in a lowly conference is difficult. Yeah, it's like if you played high school ball only. You better be dominating, and you better be Shaq. Coward has the abilities of a long-lasting role player in the NBA, but must prove that he is legit. Some gambles are justifiable, and the Spurs rolling the dice at pick 14 may be worthwhile with Cedric Coward. Alrighty, let's talk about our Spurs. Needs. We need size. Wemby's our only guy, I think, on the roster right now over 6'10". I think everybody else is under. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everybody else is like 6'9" or less. I mean, 6'9" is a good number, but not when you're talking height in the NBA. We need 3-point shooting. One of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the NBA last year. Were we bottom 5? I'm drawing a blank. I'm kind of shooting off the cuff here. I didn't look up the stat, but I think we are pretty low. Could also use some rebounding and defense. We have players that just don't play defense. So we need upgrades there. What would Cedric Coward bring to the team? He would bring us size at the wing position, being 6'6" with a 7'2" wingspan, but not size overall. He'll give us 3-point shooting if his 3-point shooting wasn't a fluke in those few games he played last season. Some rebounding. It sounds like a good rebounder for his size and position, but he's not going to be a guy that goes out there and grabs 10-plus boards a game. And it sounds like he would be a good defender. So he checks some boxes, but not all the boxes. And getting a player that checks all those boxes, there's very few of them in the draft. For me personally, Spurs fans, I don't think he'd be my first target at 14. His injury last season and the limited games that he did play do concern me. And I did look around some mock drafts before doing this video, and it really is a giant question mark on what the Spurs will do. 4 mock drafts, 4 different picks. Carter Bryant, who's probably been mocked to us the most, Noah Essengay, Colin Murray-Boyles, and Joe Barringer. I like Rasheer Fleming, but nobody had us taking him, so it's very not likely. But I kind of answered it. I don't think I would. This draft coming up, this draft is crazy, Spurs fans. I mean, I'm pumped for it. I know you guys are pumped for it, and I'm tired of all the trade rumors with Kevin Durant. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis seems completely off the board. Durant with the Suns, they want way too much. I saw a reasonable trade today for Lauri Markkanen, and it was Devin and somebody else in the number 2 for Markkanen and the number 5. And I was like, the Jazz aren't going to do that. They're going to want more, and his injury history scares me anyway, his giant contract. I wouldn't do it, but at least it wasn't an absurd trade. But man, next Wednesday night, just think, Spurs fans. Can you imagine first if when the Dallas Mavericks draft, make their pick, if we don't hear Cooper Flagg's name? There's 99.9% chance they're taking him. Saying there's a chance. What if they don't draft him? Then that's clearly the pick we take at number 2, right? What if they do take Dylan Harper? What if something's crazy and they actually want Ace Bailey, even though he's dropping down draft boards? Who the heck knows? They're probably all the safe bet. I don't gamble. The safe bet is they're taking Cooper Flagg. But what if they don't? I'll literally fall off my chair or my couch, if you will, if that happens. I'll be like, okay, thank you. But Flagg is going number 1, barring something weird happening. Or what if something else crazy happens? What if the Spurs trade? What if we find a way to trade up to number 1 that's reasonable? Or what if we do trade back? And then the giant question mark, of course, is with today's video, the tie-in here, who are you taking at 14? There's a lot of good players. A lot of good players that could check some of those boxes we were talking about. I'm really, it's one, do we trade up from 14? That could happen too. I'll tell you, Spurs fans, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Miss TSR will be making her return here, as well as the couch contingent, all the plushies. And I'm so excited for this draft. I can't wait for next season. I have said it before, I'll say it again. I truly think we're going to be a playoff team, not just a play-in team. We might finish in the 6 to 10 range, but I think we'll get into the playoffs. Whether we get out of the first round or not, that depends. We'll see. I hope we can. Lots riding, of course, on Mitch Johnson's first official year as head coach of the team. But I think we're going to be a lot of fun to watch with Wemby, with Castle, with Fox. I like what CP3 did for the team last year and how he contributed and mentoring guys. But with him not being the starting point guard, it's going to be so much more up-tempo. We're going to have an off-season for all the guys. Mitch is going to have an off-season to be a coach. Say what you will about him, but he got thrown into a position he was clearly not ready for. So maybe he'll be a lot better than we think he's going to be this season. And it's such a fun time to be a Spurs fan. It really is. And I can't wait to share the joy, hopefully only joy, no disappointment, of the draft next Wednesday. I do want to close with this. I want to thank you all that subscribed to the second channel this week. We're almost up to 600 subscribers. I'm having a blast over there. Maybe we hit 1,000. And it's cool that some of you went over there and you're like, oh, TSR, I didn't know you were into this or into that, because I'm sharing a lot of the comic book stuff I do over there, a ton of the comic book stuff, and then just, TSR from the last, 20 years till today. This is crazy, weird, homemade videos, really bad death metal, and everything in between. That's all I got. Drop a comment down below. Would you draft Cedric Coward at 14, or are you still locked in on Carter Bryant, Danny Wolf? Do you like Rasheer Fleming? Somebody else we haven't mentioned? Less than a week, guys. Less than a week. Hit the TSR Sports channel, subscribe, become part of our awesome Spurs community. I thank you, and as always, go Spurs, go.